Hi, this is Sachii, and today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different when it comes to my watercolors. It's a technique that I've used only once before, and I'm pretty excited, but mostly anticipating that this could go very badly. So, it's not quite a bouquet technique, it's more of a, it's diffusing. I think that's the best way to put it. It's diffusing. So what you do is you put the lightest color that you have on the on the paper. Okay? And then you start painting around it. So a little fun fact about this, this is actually going to be kind of a difficult one for me to do because there's a lot of people involved, a lot of different color variations or whatnot. I lived in Germany when the World Cup was happening, when Zinedine Zidane headbutted the Italian guy. I was in the stadium for that, and and if it's hard to hear me, I'm sorry. It's really hot in this room right now, so I have to keep the fan on. Okay. So, when Zinedine Zidane headbutted the Italian man, I can't remember his name, but I was in the stadium when it happened, and because I am confused about who I am as a person, I was dressed up wearing a French afro, French clothes, and my face was painted as a French flag, just because, you know, they were who I was supporting, because Belgium was already out, and Japan and South Korea were already out as well. So it's like, okay, so who do I support? So I decided to support France. Just because, like, why would you... I mean, you totally can. You totally can go to the World Cup finals and not support anyone. People have done it. At the time I was, I think, maybe 14. So, this was before we found out that I couldn't have any alcohol. Well, I mean, I still drank, but it was like, I would get the typical Asian reaction where, like, I would get hot, I would turn red and whatnot, but, with me, I actually can't have alcohol at all because I actually legitimately get hives. So, like, yeah, it's not a good day for me if I have alcohol. So anyway, I am just doing this weird combination of, because there's a lot of heads in this crowd, I just remember there being a lot of people. I mean, obviously, it's a World Cup. It's the biggest stage after the Olympics. So anyway, I dressed up just because I could. You know, I was 14 at the time. I was about the same size I am now, which is tiny. And so I was there supporting France, and I was in the stadium with Zinedine Zidane headbutted the Italian man. And so I actually got a bunch of interviews that day because, you know, this tiny Asian girl who speaks with Belgian dialect was supporting, well, I mean, American girl who speaks with Belgian dialect was supporting France. Like, why would you do that? What is wrong with you? And so I got a ton of interviews, and in one of the interviews, I accidentally got pulled aside. I really don't think this was the reporter's intention. I think they're just trying to keep me out of the crowd. And, I got pulled from the side, and I ended up getting separated from my dad and my sister. My mom was, I think she was still in the Philippines at this time. So, as a result, I was pretty much by myself, and so the reporter, knowing that I was completely lost at this point, didn't want to get charged with kidnapping, or at least that's the impression that I got, because he pretty much just left me in the middle of the street, surrounded by a whole bunch of people, and so I was by myself, and I was 14, I didn't speak German at the time, I didn't know what to do, so I climbed a light pole so that my dad could find me, and he did, because there were so many people in the area at the time. The phone signals, even back then, they weren't very good. And he saw me climb a light pole, and he's like, that's my little girl. So he immediately ran up to me, and I just remember being hugged so tightly, and I was so scared because I was like, what happened? You know, like, I don't understand. There's so many people, and since then I haven't been the same with crowds. But yeah, this is Berlin. I'm pretty sure it's 2006. Because I remember being in middle school when I went to Germany. We're gonna make this like super blue, and then we're going to add some red to my face. It's gonna be really hard to see like what exactly is happening with myself. Yeah, and I'm honestly gonna keep this one super simple because this is a lot of people, a lot of movement, and I just wanted to, you know, replicate the movement, the darkness, and how I felt in the middle of the city, and practice some techniques. So thanks for joining me.